All right. Here on YouTube, and I haven't been doing lives on here so long. I forgot how to turn the comments on and all that other stuff. So don't know if I'm gonna get anybody in here or not. Anyway, but this is a reading about the super harvest moon in Aries that will be on 10/6 Monday night. It's like at 11:48 p.m. Eastern time, so it's just before midnight. So it's the harvest moon. Think about it in the sense where we just passed the equinox. In a lot of older traditions, that was your true Thanksgiving time where you'd have your feast, your harvest, you'd get all your crops gathered, and prepare to store for the winter. You have to look at it in that sense to where we probably would be better to be celebrating the fruits of our labor, or just being honest, if you haven't seen any fruits of your labor, it's now time to formulate a new plan. If you have been not getting anything done and not seeing the results of what you keep investing in, then thinking realistically, it's time to do something different. If you're a farmer and you plant crops and then all of a sudden there is no fruits and vegetables that come forth with it, you probably would want to do something different. So it's a super moon too. This super harvest full moon, and again, in the sign of Aries, which and astrologically Aries have to deal with your mind on fire, where you have been executed into your ideas. If you have invested so much and you're not getting anything out of it, again, like I said a few minutes ago, stop burning yourself. The other thing you have to look at too is realistically, our energy has been being harvested for a long time. We get tricked into abiding by or falling complacent to or even in full support of some of the most idiotic stuff. In that sense of where harvest comes in, something's already got your energy and it's harvesting your energy for its use. If you can't see where this year has pretty much shown us our energy is being harvested as a collective, I don't know what show you're taking part in. I don't know what version of planet Earth you're on. This also 2025 has been the year of the snake by Chinese zodiac. Last year was the year of the dragon. This year is the year of the snake. Next year, and they start like I think February 17th, 2026 is the next one. The Chinese New Year starts next year is the year of the fire horse or the year of the horse. It doesn't always have to be a fire horse. But think about it. Those, just like how people pay attention to Western astrology, dealing with your zodiac, 12, 13 zodiac signs, you also can pay attention to and I think it is still 12 with them, the 12 animals for the Chinese zodiac. The horse is a system of delivery. You understand that? The horse is what you use to get things done. If you're plowing the fields, the horse is a strong assistance, a strong tool of assistance. If you're traveling, the horse is a strong tool of assistance. Think back to what I was saying about the harvest moon, where your energy is being used against you. If your energy is being used against you and you're also the horse in your own equation, you got problems. We are the vehicle for our own destruction on some levels. All you got to do is put an idea into the average person's head and they're going to invest in it even when it's not working out for them. Basically, everything I'm warning about as far as the sense of the harvest. If you keep planting seeds and the crop is not working out for you, stop planting them seeds and stop carrying them seeds with you. You understand that horse? But like I was saying, this year, 2025, has been the year of the snake. Traditionally, the snake is always associated with knowledge, even in demonized religious fanaticism, such as like Christianity, Islam, and things like that. Judaism, that snake is going to play a role. Hell, in cometics, the snake plays a role. The uraeus, the symbol of knowledge. This year was supposed to show us what you know. But again, as aforementioned, if you can't admit to yourself to where your knowledge is part of the problem, you got an issue. Again, not to go too deep into what the common tricks are right now, but think about it. I think it was the other night on Jimmy Kimmel when he had one of his reporters out there and they was playing the everyday common trick where they was asking a Trump supporter a question, but instead of saying it was Trump, they were saying it was Biden. And as long as they said that what was going on was Biden, then the Trump supporter had so much anger and words to say about it, and then they would correct them, say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. That was actually Trump." And then they got all kind of excuses. You understand that? That's a form of psychosis where you cannot admit where you're wrong, and even when you know something is wrong, you will fight to make it right. Knowledge has shown you everything that's going wrong, but if it does not fit the paradigm of what you've been taught and told you need to see, you won't break from it, even at the cost of enslaving others, even at the cost of putting others in ice. Read between the lines. So just because you know something is wrong doesn't mean you're going to get change, especially if you're used to having your energy harvested. And here's the double side of that coin, not just for fanaticism, but for religious fanaticism. If you're buying into a system that already told you as long as you comply, you'll get results, you'll get rewards, you'll stay on that journey. You'll stay enslaved waiting on something else to do the work for you if you've been promised a seat at the table at the end. And that's really what you're seeing with all of the common foolishness in politics is they won't break from their rank and file because they've already either A, been sold in too far, or B, they have a real belief in what's going on. Which the common person can say, well, goddamn, how can you be that foolish? It's not foolish to them. They're already invested. And the same thing on the religious fanatic side, having a belief in something already being done for you, having the belief for something already being done for you, then you won't do nothing for yourself. You might as well say 6-7. Really. And in my number system, 6-7 means you're already traumatized in the reality of who you do or who you think you are. And that's just it. If your traumas are stronger than the truth, you got problems. Unfortunately, our traumas are stronger than our truths. Our traumas are stronger than our truths. So before we go into how this super full moon, harvest moon, is going to basically show you the fruits of your labor, we'll see. We'll see what this year, and again, I'm telling you, this year of the snake, this year of knowledge, has shown you everything you need to see. But if you invest more in fairy tales, allegories, alliterations, fallacies, and lies than you do in the evident truth that nothing changes unless you make change for yourself, if you keep investing in all the mysticism, you stay stuck in the illusion. So I'll shuffle again, but I'm telling you, the year of the snake just showed you where the biggest thing in the illusion is you. The biggest thing in an illusion is the person ill using their energy. Illusion, an ill use of ions energy. What has 2025, the year of the snake, shown us? Whoosh, you're on fire. Remember I told you the Aries energy basically is symbolic of a phoenix, the person that's already on fire. You're on fire. This is the king of fire. Something has already ruled over your energy. Holy shit, harvesting. Something has already ruled over your energy, and now 2 makes 4. 2 is what you're connected to. 2 is knowledge. 4 is the trap. Holy shit, I have a hashtag. And I'll be mindful of my words because even though I said this is not for kids, YouTube likes to ban me anyway, so I'll try not to do too much cussing. But knowledge gets you messed up. Read between the lines. I normally say knowledge gets you effed up. But knowledge gets you messed up, and you're going to manifest what you're connected to. Remember everything I said about the harvest moon? All it's got to do is get you to invest in what you believe, and then that will be the greatest use of your energy, even if it's not for your benefit. So 2025 has shown you 2024. What was 2024? The year of manifestation. 2024 was a 44, the master manifester. 2025, the year of the snake, the year of control, is only going to show you how what you manifested was already under control. Basically, what I've been saying for years is a Jedi mind trick. They tell you what they want us to see. We either invest in it so much that we help create it, or we fight so hard not to create it that we create it. That's the danger of my fellow conspiracy theorists. Fighting so hard to make sure that the conspiracy is seen that you help create it. Because you don't know when to back down and say, okay, we're paying too much attention to it. We need to stop and let's redirect our energy on something that's going to be more fruitful for us. Your ego kicks in, and then you stand on your soapbox about how your information is right and correct. And then you keep drawing in crowds, feeding it more ions, feeding it more energy. So you have to be careful. Energy gets harvested in many ways. You cannot pay attention to something, indirectly by trying to make sure that you don't feed it, and you're still feeding it. Look at it, have awareness of it, and then make a decision. I see it, ain't worth my time or energy. Going about my day. Or else, that snake that might bite you might turn you into a horse. This year, that snake that keep manifesting everything might show you next year where that's the only thing you're carrying on your journey. Remember, the horse is the mode of travel. It is the transportation. Think about it in the sense of a virus. It needs a carrier. If what is already burning you is already inside of you, wherever you go, you're going to burn everything else. We call that trauma bonding. When you have so much anger for what's going on that you project that anger onto any and everything else that you come into contact with, because you don't realize that the whole goal of the energy was to get you to just invest in that anger in the first place. Think about it. I've been saying this for months, and it really kicked up during the month of September, is when the sickness has to face itself because there's nobody else doing it to it. It needs for somebody else to be responsible. You understand that? If I hit my elbow, but I don't want to take accountability for hitting my elbow, the first person that walks into sight, or that first person that I already want to be responsible, I'm going to point the finger at them, even when it's not their fault. Again, that's that schizophrenic function of irresponsibility. This year has shown you where that condition of not being able to be accountable and responsible for yourself, that shit's manifested fully. We have some of the most insane shit shows going on. And it ain't like you didn't know what's going to happen. It was just the average person did not manifest enough energy for themselves, so they keep giving it to the same systems designed to take it. You want to know why our energy is being harvested? Because we won't grow our own crops. And furthermore, we've been subducted so far that when we try and do things for ourselves, what's already been taking our energy will stop us. You understand that? You can't even go outside and collect rainwater because that's against the law. You can't even go outside and plant a garden in your front yard because that's against the law. You understand that? Laws, conditions, taxes, tariffs, regulations. You can't do shit. But the same motherfuckers that's telling you that you can't do shit be doing everything. But you call it a democracy. You manifested what's burning you. Why? Because coming into 26, it's going to show you where that's the only thing that you like to go through. You understand that? You keep going. We collectively keep going through things because we will not make a choice and chance to change. We won't. We'll say, let's put somebody in where there should be nobody at all. We'll say, let's hire somebody else to do the job that we should be doing for ourselves. That's that parasitic programming that's already got all your energy. The right to keep on taking yourself apart is the most important thing. Your divine right to keep choosing to separate yourself becomes the only thing holding you together. So since the year of the snake showed you where the only thing you're doing is biting yourself, now the 2026 preview card for the horse is going to show where you're carrying the infection. You're carrying the infection. You're drowning because the leak is inside of you. You're not getting rid of the leak. The leak is inside of you, and you know it, and you're trying to get somewhere safe. See, everything I said about you hit your own elbow, but you won't take accountability for your own actions. So you'll need to concoct somebody else to take the blame. That horse next year is going to show you where everybody is trying to blame what's going on everybody else. More the same that we see every day, only it might be a little bit more exponentiated. 24 is going to take away 10. If you understand my number system, 10 is not only the Lilith choice, where you're going to choose, but it is also the point of choice. And by tarot, it is the wheel of fortune. 24, where you are connected to the trap, is only going to show you where all your potential is in the trap. The difference between 24 and 14 is 10. 2026 is a 10. 2 plus 2 plus 6, 10. Again, choice. We're almost already there. We're almost already there to where we can talk as much shit as we want to. We don't have choice. We have compliance. If you have to wait for somebody to give you authorization just to be free, you weren't free in the first place. If you can't do what you want to do without having to worry about somebody coming to take it from you or persecute you for it, you're not free. So next year is going to show you where that freedom that you keep thinking is an innate right, is it really there? For your sake and mine, I hope so, but it's not. But it's the same thing I keep saying. If you won't do nothing different, all of your experiences are going to keep on asking you why you're doing the same. It's a teachable moment. You keep doing the same stuff and you keep getting the same answer, eventually you start getting the backlash for not making a change. Vote, nothing change. Vote, nothing change. Vote, nothing change. Vote, holy shit, everything's changing, but not for the better. Vote, everything's changing even worse, but again, not for the better. Vote, everything's changing. Next thing you know, all I can do is vote and hope for the best. While shit is constantly changing my freedoms. Maybe you should have stopped voting and maybe you should have owned up to being free. But you probably won't because that scares you. Because you're already on fire and you become too patient before you've already given up all your energy. You're the leak. You are the weakest link. So going on into this super harvest moon. And again, like I said, by tradition, this is when your cornucopia moments, your Mabons, your fall equinoxes, autumnal equinoxes, many different names by many different cultures. This is when the community would get together and collect all of the harvested goods and put some apart in case they hit not only bad weather, but in case of an invasion. You understand that? The antiquated versions of community was more tribal in nature. You know, we're dealing with, say, 5,000 to 10,000 max people, not millions of people that you're trying to use a system designed for a few as a system that's going to contain the many. It just don't work. That's why you start getting into power trips, because people try and adjust small systems into becoming big systems when that's just not the way they're designed. But that requires you to be able to think. You know, hell yeah, take 10% of your crops, because there's only like 9 families in our community. Take 10% of your crops and put them over here, and that way if you get cold, hey neighbor, I got you. Not take 10% of everything that you ever earned and give it here, and I'll tell you a better way to get to heaven. Your energy's already been harvested at that point. And here's where you probably already lost your thought processes, because you're thinking that God needs your money. Make that make sense. Your omnipotent, all-powerful being needs a US dollar. Maybe you need an enema, because you need to flush that shit out your system. Oops. So, the super harvest moon. If you don't understand your energy is being used against you, you'll probably find a way to use your energy that's being used against you to help protect yourself. I did not say that incorrectly. I just said it that way on purpose in case somebody can see through that trick. You're going to use something that's already been tainted as what's going to help you stay safe. You're going to use what's harming you to help you stay safe. How's that going to work out for you? How's that going to work out for you? Let's see. Let's just start with Aries. Your mind's already on fire. You can't think different. Why? Because you're probably going to go ask the same systems that tell you not to think on how to outthink, where there is none. You're going to go to the same systems that tell you that you're not authorized to think so that you can learn a way to think where you never even were allowed or authorized to think in the first place. Wholeness. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but if your mind's already on fire and you're not in control of what's burning you, you're probably already submissive and going to ask what's burning you on how to get free. Huh? I can't free myself, so I'm going to go ask what's harming me on how to get better. Holy shit, Aries. Your energy's already harvested, and I don't know about you, but let's just say you work for me and you pay all my bills by working for me, and now you want a raise. I'm not going to give you more of a raise than what's going to not hurt me. You understand what I'm saying? I'll give you a raise, but I'm not going to take anything out of my pocket because I'm used to having access to your energy. That's just good business. Sorry, that's capitalism. I'm not going to give you a $500 raise and now I can't go have my steak dinner just because you want to live. The fuck? You need to get it up out of the mud the same we did. We can go places with that, but we're not. But you understand that? You already burnt and you're asking what burnt you on how to put out the fire. Your energy is already harvested. The first trick to the trap was stop giving up your energy instead of going to the same systems that already are proven to be harmful. But most people going to keep going back to the system. So Super Harvest Moon on Monday in Aries is going to affect Aries. You're going to keep coming over to it. You're going to keep coming over to it. Why? Because the thoughts have already fooled me. 3 is the Empress, which is basically whoever has your ear. The thought in your head has your ear. And 0 is the Fool. Why? Because the Fool had all the energy. But when the Fool who has all the energy puts something in front of it, it takes all the power. 3, 30. 3, 30. How'd that 3 get to be a 30? Because it fooled the 0 into giving up all its energy. How? By giving it something to keep coming over to. Giving it this spiritual journey. What I tell you about the horse? The horse is basically your meat suit on a journey carrying this thought that I have to get somewhere. Why do you have to get somewhere? If you understood it, so the 3 can stay in power. If I just keep moving you around and making you work better for me while telling you that you're doing better for yourself, I'll be like Rockefeller in a few weeks. You get it? If I'm going to tell you the recipe on how to get more for yourself, but that includes making sure that you make more for me, Ponzi scheme. So in Aries, 3 and 0, still a 3. 3, the Divine Empress, the thought that helps form creation. 3 is communication. What am I communicating with? The strongest thought that already has my mind on fire and it is going to show me the safest way to get out of being trapped. I used this example a few weeks ago. I need to find that video. I probably, but I don't have an audience on Facebook, so I probably won't. But the video I'm talking about is Bugs Bunny and Finster Baby. Bugs Bunny and either Finster Baby and Bugs Bunny or Muggsy Malone. One of the little bank robbers was trying to hide in Bugs Bunny's home, and Bugs Bunny was messing him up while trying to help him. He was stuffing him in closets and beating him up, and Muggsy was worried about getting arrested, that he wasn't paying attention that Bugs Bunny was being a trickster and whooping his ass. And every time he whooped his ass and said, no, 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 don't hide here. The coppers are coming. He would take him and hide him somewhere else and whoop him up some more. Muggsy was so worried about getting in trouble with the police that he didn't see that the biggest source of trouble was with Bugs Bunny, who he kept going to get help. Try that with your lower level thinkings. You keep going over to these same systems to get help, and the only thing they're gonna do is keep taking your power. But you too foolish to think for yourself, so they think for you. Now you out here watching bullshit ass celebrity tweets. You out here being fooled by fake ass celebrities who are in trouble. You out here being glamorized by politicians who still eat with the other politicians who are still eating us all. I already been banned on YouTube since 2015. Fuck them too. Sorry, I got banned on TikTok the other day for filming nature. But it's the truth. If you keep coming over to the same systems that are harming you, did they harm you or are you harming yourself? That's a real question. Super Harvest Moon in Aries, and I was born an Aries, but again, if you're new to me, you are bigger than these signs. The signs is another part of the story of you and separation. If you keep coming over to the things that have already taught you how to be separated, because it's the only thing you know how to communicate with, and you don't see anything different, except for coming over and over and over and over, when you'll get tired of getting nothing, though. When you're going to get tired of fooling yourself by keep coming over to the same stuff that's already got all your power. Because again, as I keep saying, you're manifesting for it, not for yourself. You're manifesting for it with the intentions that it will set you free. When its whole base design is only maintaining itself by keeping you on a journey. And again, 2026. The Temperance card in reverse, you're going to urgently be trying to get free where you've already placed yourself in a trap. Ever been crabbing? Ever caught a rat in a box? Ever caught a squirrel in a rat trap? Them motherfuckers go crazy before they die. Because they can't get free. Once you get in, you can't get out. Matrix like a motherfucker. So the Aries energy can say, you matrix like a motherfucker, and you keep coming over to this trap because you don't understand the whole trick was coming over to the trap in the first place and thinking that the trap was going to help you set yourself free. This will piss some of you off, but now you're an indigo child, now you're a chosen one, now you're Atlantean, now you're a starseed, now you're a Draconian, now you're a Pleiadian, now you're on the Galactic Council, now you're a reptilian, indigo, Necromian, whatever. Now Atlas 31 coming to get you. Now the Anunnaki on the way. You'll concoct something else to make it more glamorized for you to get a change because you don't want to do change on your own. And you can lie to yourself for a few eternities, but you're still here. And you'll have to let your life tell your tale. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the idiocracy that you keep coming over to. Why you keep burning yourself? Why you keep burning yourself? Stop burning yourself. Why you keep burning yourself? Because I like the fire. Taurus, you like to stay stuck. This harvest moon is going to say, holy shit, I see where Aries keep coming over to the same things that keep taking its crops and not sharing with it. Holy shit, sharecroppers. Keep taking all the crops and all the money, but you doing all the work. Taurus says, shit, I'm not going to get stuck in that trap. I'm going to work hard enough and they're going to appreciate me. They're going to set me free. This will probably be an 8 or a 16. Because it's gatekeeper energy before I flip this card. 8 is the struggle. 8 is I'm going to struggle harder so that they appreciate the way I struggle. Then they're going to promote me. I might be a fucking psychic. 1 + 7, 8. The star card, only it was in reverse. You ain't going to never have enough. Scarcity. 1, potential. 7, the journey. I give all my potential to the journey because if I work hard enough and what they got me overcoming, I might get promoted and next time I'm going to be an ancestor. Or next time I'm going to be a spirit guide. I'm sorry, if you're new to me, on my level of metaphysics, this is what I call the illusion of separation, where you are just one piece of one source and you're playing out the identity of what you could become by investing your thoughts into the experience. So if this doesn't make sense to you, I apologize, but I just don't deal on lower level shit. But basically, what this is if you keep starring in these soul roles that keep you in separation, I'm a Pleiadian, I'm an indigo, I'm a walk in, somebody swap my destiny and all this other bullshit. If you keep playing with the lower level shit and thinking that that's making you higher, you right. You high as fuck. You high as fuck. You are high as fuck if you think all this shit out here that is eating up our energy is gonna make it easy for you to get free. You done signed a contract. You done signed a contract with starring in your own separation, but we're not gonna show you enough. Why? Because if we show you enough to see you, you might figure out who we are. Did you catch that one? If we show you enough space to not have to worry about everything else we putting you through, you might see who we really are. On a metaphysical level, that's your thoughts. On a more mundane level, that's your government. If you will stop being bamboozled and led astray by the basic shit, what you already know, you might have to embrace as a truth. What they already told us, you might not be able to stop paying attention to. Stop not paying attention to. Remember during COVID, during 2020, when they finally admitted that there was a shadow government that controls your operational government, and then motherfuckers blinked because they was too busy trying to figure out whether we gonna wear a mask or not. You didn't catch the bigger trick. You didn't catch the bigger picture that, holy shit, these bastards that we keep voting in ain't even the ones in charge, but I'm scared. So your fear overrid what you needed to know to get free because you was waiting on who got you enslaved to save you. So Taurus energy, you stuck. You stuck in scarcity. You stuck in systems that are only going to keep you divided and in struggle, because if I got you divided and in struggle, you're going to keep coming over to what I tell you to think, and how can I keep my energy? See, at that point, it ain't even your own. I was going to say, how can I keep your energy? But speaking as a thought, it don't even belong to you. You didn't have an original thought. You don't have an original thought on what you're going through. The thoughts are telling you how to move. Holy shit, horse. 2026. The thoughts are telling you how to move because you urgently think you drowning. Stand up. Listen to that word, those words. Stand up. I can't. Sir, ma'am, it's only 2 inches of water. I'm drowning. I can't get up. Hypochondriacs. Been telling y'all about that for weeks before they banned me on TikTok. Been telling y'all, watch out for spiritual addictions next year. I've been telling you, next year is the year of empathy. All this shit that y'all are hyper connected to. I'm neurodivergent. My ADHD rules everything in my life. My this and that and everything. You're a narcissist. You're a victim. All these labels that you won't work on internally because you are out here trauma bonding with everybody else that now has the same conditions. That shit's gonna eat y'all the fuck up next year. You better deal with what the fuck you got going on in you and find a way to fix it instead of getting out here with everybody else to make you feel safe with holding it in. That's just a warning. Find a way to deal with what's going on with you, not others that make it feel better about having it. Hell and welcome. So if you stay stuck in this shit designed to keep you pulled apart, trying to find more ways to hold yourself together, you just built a better mousetrap. Remember I told you it was either going to be an 8 or a 16? 1 plus 7, 8. What's 8? Struggle. What's 8? The infinity loop. The infinity loop that won't keep still. You see, the infinity loop is laying on its side, trying to just be still to see what's going on. The 8 is an infinity loop that is stood up. You understand that? Been stood up. Ain't nobody else showing up. Ain't nobody coming. You already here. You just don't want to find yourself. You just want to find what you've been told to see. Oops. Taurus, you stuck in journeying in what you've been told to see and then got your ass ate up. And it ain't going to show up. Why? Because what you're looking for is you. And if you haven't figured out that going on a journey to find yourself without figuring out who you are, you'll never get there. You'll just be what you allow when you make a stop. But is that you? Is that you, player? Or is that just what you're going through? I identify as spiritual addictions. What are your pronouns? Crazy ass fuck. I'm sorry. Gemini energy. Your energy's been harvested, and all we told you that we want is for you to be in separation. So now you're in this Gemini energy. Now you're used to playing a part. You see this? You don't know which one is you. So you're going to tell yourself that you both of them, which in reality means that you're now the three. You catch that? If I'm my left mind and my right mind, then my left mind and my right mind makes me all three. What I tell you that three was? Three was the thoughts. Remember I said a few minutes ago about it ain't even your energy. Why? Because you're not authorized to think for yourself. So you do become the thought at that point. Gemini, in this harvest moon, you haven't had an original thought for yourself. You're just thinking for your traumas. And what is your traumas? Your thoughts. 333-9. All I'm doing is sharing my energy with what's got me under control. What's got me under control? Mind, body, soul. The three. I keep waking up at 3:33 in the morning. Oh, girl, that's just the angels telling you to go ahead and write another petition. No, it's a programming note. It's a programming note that my energy is stuck at that point. And I could wake up and see, but I don't know how to think. So here, let me give you some fluffy foo-foo shit. That's what that means. You share your energy, what you've been taught and told, and it keep you under control. Oops, got your nose. There you go. Thank you, Master. Gemini, mastering your own separation because you keep sharing your energy, what's already got all your vibrations. And you want to know how you can harvest some for yourself. You want to know how you can harvest the way to get your energy from what you keep selling your energy to, because you keep going to what you're selling your energy to, on what's going to get you free. What's going to happen is you'll fuck around and find a way to sell your energy to yourself, but it's not you. It's just you under the guise of what's already got your control. You're still only going to think for the thoughts you've been through, in case somebody didn't catch that. You're only going to think for your traumas. The Gemini that learns how to get control over their thinking is only going to try and find the safest way to think so that they don't trigger what they already thought. Past life fucking scripted like a motherfucker. That one time, or I can't. Those are your catchwords. I will never. Trauma bonded. And again, if you're new to me, we are all signs. I don't give a fuck about you being born on June 12th at 6:16 in the morning. I don't care. That was just when you tangibly incarnated into this fucking trap. But within this meat suit, this horse, all of this energy is just you in separation. So if you keep trying to go through the separation to figure out how to stop separating yourself, make that make sense. I'm going to go into the pieces to find out how to put myself back together. But sir, ma'am, are you not only going to fracture yourself further? Shh, that ain't what that means. See, that ain't what they told me. So you keep manifesting what you've been told. How's it working out for you, player? You might as well vote. You might as well vote. Why? Because at that point, you're your own cancer. Remember I said under the Gemini energy, you're just going to keep on sharing your energy with what's got you under control, and what has you under control at that moment is your thoughts. So if I think as my thoughts, am I not what's making me sick? You become your own cancer. Duh, you become your own cancer. 5, movement. 5 on the bottom, manipulation. I am manipulating myself because I am using abusive systems on how to heal. Or I keep going to the abusers to try and learn how to make gains. I keep going to the same systems designed to limit me on how I'm going to get free. And then when ain't nothing there, my dumb ass will create them. When ain't nothing there and you authentically have a chance to escape, you'll create a new law. The law of reflection 2.0, the law of dimensionality, the law of reflectivism, the law of positivism, the law of cause and effect, the law of the dog ate my homework. Why? Because I need to be ruled over. I need to be ruled over, daddy. Abuse me. That's what the Cancer energy says. There's no way I can do this for myself, so let me find something else to place the blame on. Because if I don't have anything to place the blame on, I might have to make a choice. I might have to make a choice to be free. Oops. Yeah, I'll repost it. Unfortunately, with YouTube, it might take about a day or two before they upload it for me to reload it. But it will be on here. Get some rest. So, again, Cancer. I'm my own abuser. I'm drinking the poisons because they told me that's how I heal. Vote. Heaven forbid I think for myself. I might harm me. And that's a real-time function. See, I don't trust myself. So are you free for a reading later? What did you hear? I don't trust what I heard. Well, facetious card right here. Well, this is what your ancestors said. It's careless for you to go on a journey. See, I knew it. I just didn't believe it. Spoken as a reader, I hear that shit every fucking day. Spoken as a reader, I hear that every day. And I've been doing reading since 2014. I know what the answer is. I just want to see if your card is going to catch it. Wait a minute. You want me to dig into divination, probability, and possibilities? When you already got the whole finite answer in your mind? Yeah, I don't trust myself. You your own fucking abuser. Why? Because you rather share your energy with me when I only know a piece of you, scarcity. I can only see parts of you and not the whole you, but you're going to keep on coming over to me. You your own Cancer. Why? Because you don't understand your own power. The harvest moon for Cancer is going to say you're used to abusing yourself and you won't take accountability for the things that you're doing, so you'll keep concocting new stories or new protagonists or antagonists in this case, new assailants. You'll need to start a war with somebody else because heaven forbid, you fix your own shit. Every time Scooby-Doo pull that mask off, it's you. But you don't trust that shit. So you're going to keep going until you find who you want to be under that mask. And if you can't find them under the mask, you're going to put them under the mask one way or the other. You'll go start something with somebody that you want to be responsible because you don't want to be responsible for yourself. You're your own Cancer. And you're this planet's Cancer because you've been the planet's abuser. Yes, read between the fucking lines. You have destroyed this planet with your abusive, psychotic ways that you want everybody else to be sick like you. And when you face with your own sickness, you don't want to face that shit. It can't be real. There's no way I'm the abuser. I'm the savior. Woo! You don't know your own power. Leo. You have harvested so much power from everybody else through abuse that you don't even realize your own capabilities. Why? Because you've been using everybody else's energy. You know that's a real-time function, right? A narcissist that has been in an abusive relationship and has just done nothing but beat down their partner, when their partner is no longer playing the same game and they have to see shit for themselves. Holy shit, we were talking about this earlier, baby. If you don't have nobody to point the blame at when they don't play your game, when you still fail, you gonna blame them anyway. But holy shit, motherfucker, you did this to yourself. No, see, there's no way I did this. See, what happened was you didn't help me. But when I tried to help you, you didn't want no help. No, see, fuck that. This is all your fault. Holy shit, Leo, Junior Fire, Fixed Fire. You can't get out of burning yourself, so everybody else need to be accountable because you don't understand your power and you're used to abusing everybody else's. Holy shit, death. Death. You won't transmute your own ways and you think somebody else is doing it to you. So you trying to change me. Transmutation, change. Death, change. 1, 3, the potential thought. How do I get out of my patterns? Stop giving all the potential to my thoughts. I'm holding on to what's killing me, but I'm scared to let it go because I might have to live. Oops. I'm scared to let go of what's killing me because if I let them go, I now might have to live. And heaven forbid, I have to learn how to use my power when I'm used to stealing yours. Gaslighting, narcissism, trauma bonding, psychic vampirism, mental vampirism, sexual vampirism, physical vampirism, emotional vampirism, societal vampirism, weak motherfucker vampirism. You don't know how to change your own energy. You just used to abusing everybody else's. You used to abusing everybody else's energy that you're going to change. You'll flip the answers. You'll flip the answers on the test if it means that you now have to see, holy shit, old man Dithers, this is all you. Ain't nobody else shooting up shit. Ain't nobody else doing none of this dumb shit. Ain't nobody else making these rules and laws and regulations. This is your dumb ass. Shit ain't working. Who you gonna blame? Somebody, because there's no way I'm taking accountability. Hell, don't worry. They'll vote for me anyway. Perfect trap. Your energy's already harvested. They don't know their own power because they're used to getting yours, and you don't know your own power, so you're used to giving it. You want to know what's the shadow government? You scared of your own light. See, I would like to submit at this time, I don't give a fuck if there is a B6113, a Bilderberg project, a trilateral commission. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Those are all subsets of what's designed to take your attention because you won't do what you're supposed to do. You won't take charge of your energy, so you keep charging your energy into what's draining it. You are in Europe trying to use a 110 and a 220. That shit ain't gonna work. But it's gonna take your energy nonetheless. Why? Because you don't understand your own power. Why? Because you're in your Virgo energy. You're in your cycle of dealing with your traumas. Remember I told you that 8? That's Virgo energy and manifestation. I don't give a fuck what reading I'm doing. Virgo energy and manifestation is the infinity loop. You have been traumatized, you're trying to get set free. You've been traumatized, you've been trying to set free. I'm trying to set free from my traumas. You mean you still connected? You Bambi. You the deer in the headlights because you trying to cross the road, but you don't know your own energy and you get stuck by everything that gets in your way. And again, if you're a Virgo, eat that shit. But we are all signs. But the Virgo energy and manifestation in this current realm is cyclic ways of trying to get out of their traumas by trying to manifest a new life that does not include them by making sure they never let them go so that they don't have to see them. Sorry, Virgo, you in the infinity loop of always watching your past, trying to create a better future, but you forgot yours a gift. Oops. The element of fire in reverse. You're trying to find your rage points. That's your traumas. I'm not owning my own passion. I'm trying to create my passion by making sure I get rid of everywhere that I've already did not get it. That's what that is. I need to see the times that burnt me so that I can use them as the blueprint for how not to get burnt. But wait a minute. if you use those blueprints of your traumas and you build your house on top of that, is not your trauma still built into your house? That's not what that is. 17 relationships later, and the only thing ain't changed is you, but everybody else that you give a new shot is different. Because you're trying to make sure that they're all different, but you ain't changed you. To work that back for somebody who's thinking a little bit too hard. You try and make sure your new does not look like your old, but you still your old, just trying to find some place safe to be new you. Don't resonate, let your life tell your tale. Don't lie to me. And that's this whole fucking reading. Don't lie to me. Quit lying to yourself. Stop harvesting your energy into a machine designed to take it. You don't owe anybody shit. Been telling y'all this for what, 7 years now? You need to learn reciprocity. There should be no connection. You shouldn't have to plug in. You should be able to flow. There doesn't need to be attachment. There should just be a flow. So in my Virgo energy, trying to find the best place to flow, the best place to flow is where I can flow as me and see what can match that energy. Not, I'm stuck and I just need to see if somebody can teach me a better way to emulate. Holy shit, vampire. Who's the narcissist? Strike that one, Your Honor. That'll hurt some feelings. Why? Because you're just trying to find balance. Remember the equation? You haven't learned how to operate on your own, so you're just trying to find somebody to operate better so you can learn to emulate their energy and get into balance. But what you're doing, you draining their flow. Instead of getting on your own flow and seeing who can match. And when that motherfucker can't match, bye-bye experience. You can't. You're supposed to struggle. Slap yourself. If you ever catch yourself sitting there and telling yourself that you're supposed to struggle, there's a difference between making space and having understanding versus struggle and abuse. If you're going to lie to yourself about being okay, being burnt because I can learn to be healed, spiritual BDSM. Your balance is with your pain. And remember that way back about 50 minutes ago, and I told you all this is you thinking for your thoughts. Your thoughts only want your energy. You're willing to hurt yourself so that your thoughts don't hurt you. Ain't I been good today, boss? Yeah, I won't beat you tonight. Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. That 1-9, I done gave my potential to what's controlling me because that's where I'm going to give all my energy. The Sun card. But I just say, you gave all your energy to the thought. And if I give all my potential to the thought and it's controlling me, as long as I keep it under control, and he's a good man, Savannah. He just beat you on Tuesday. He had a hard week. Did you listen? You just got to make his dinner early. And I'm not trying to be funny, but this is energetic. What the fuck is going on? You willing to stay in an abusive relationship because as long as what's controlling you is in control, you'll see a sunny day. But when what's in control ain't in control and is out of control, holy shit, we going right back to death. The Sun card. You're trying to balance with the cycles of the sun. Just day and night. What kind of day we gonna have today? I don't know. That should never be your life. If you don't know what your day-to-day is gonna bring because you are operating out of instability or you are operating with somebody with instability, you got questions to ask yourself. It's a motherfucking choice. Unless it's a motherfucking enslavement. Don't get fucking mad at me. Let your life tell your tale. I'm just your motherfucking reflection. You keep on establishing balance, hoping that you get the rebirth one day, and then trying to make sure you don't get killed the next. Molly, you in danger. Why are you in danger? You in that Scorpio energy. You trying to find a way to keep your power because on them days when you don't have your power, you're going to meet the Scorpion. the god of death, vindictive, vengeful, paranoid, mistrusting. Those are the traits. See, I don't give a fuck about hypersexual and all this other shit. Vindictive, paranoid, very dark in thoughts, very destructive, and very mistrusting. But if that's what you want for your relationship, do you, boo? Scorpio. But that's their reality. Again, 1-9 took you to 1-8. The sun will show you the moon. Remember I said with the sun, you're just trying to find the cycles of up and down? When the sun goes down, the moon comes up. Well, it used to. Now the motherfuckers be up together. See, I'm from the 70s where they used to teach us when the sun goes down, the moon comes up. Now you be outside at 2 o'clock and the sun and moon be sitting out there playing cards together. It's just the greenhouse effect. Shh, shh. It's the reality. The reality, like I said in the Scorpio sense, the reality is there is a level of mistrust because all the potential went to the struggle. If the only thing that I've been struggling with is where only thing I've been giving my energy is through them times where they left me in struggle. Remember I said back in the Virgo, all you're doing is paying attention to your past, your traumas. This Scorpio energy is very high in Virgo mode right here. It is the only thing I'm doing is paying attention to them times where I got burnt, and I'm just making sure a motherfucker don't do it to me again. And if you, here's what y'all like to say a lot. If you weren't ready for me, why you came for me? If you weren't aware of yourself, why you allow me in? And to be fair, if you thought you were aware of yourself and you allowed them in and they start playing games, why'd you keep them there? Why'd you keep them there and why'd you build a track and trail of traumas? Why not? I made a mistake. I was feeling myself a little bit too much. Thought I was on my wholeness, thought I was on my awareness. Allow somebody in, the motherfucker start playing games. You know what? Shh. Cut the experience. Not cut the experience and go back and need vindication. Because how dare you play with me? I need to show them who I'm playing with. Maybe your final phase is cussing the motherfucker out. AKA, maybe your final phase is wasting more energy. What's up, Jaguar? So the Scorpio energy, which only promotes death, you don't want transmutation. You don't want change. You just want a safer reality. But trying to find your reality under the moon's pale light, make it make sense. The moon's light ain't even real. The moon's light was the sun's energy in transmutation. The moon ain't a light source. It's a reflection. So if the only thing real for me is the reflection of where I think I lost my energy, I ain't found shit. I'm still lost altogether. You wanna know why you lost altogether? Ophiuchus. You're hidden. In between Scorpio and Sagittarius is Ophiuchus. Holy shit. The man that wrestles with the snake. Remember I told you the year of the snake only showed where you burnt yourself? At that moment, then I realized I burnt myself. That is the end of the game. Holy shit, I did this to myself. Game over. Time to check me. Not me versus me, but time to check me. What did I use as my criteria for awareness? Why did I do this? Why shouldn't I do this? Why I should do this? Why? Formulate a plan and then make action. Not they didn't have to do that, or I thought, and I'm gonna just do it again to see if it's gonna work out. Going on a fucking journey. Ophiuchus, I hear it from myself because I gave my reality to my emotions, and all that shit did was just put me on a fucking cyclic journey of burning myself. So Ophiuchus, I'm not fighting with what I know. I'm trying to gain awareness of what I am. Did you catch that? I don't need to go through what I know. I don't need to fight everything that I have knowledge of. Y'all say this shit all the time. You have to learn to unlearn. No, you just gotta let that shit go and see what's really there. Because if you learn to unlearn so you can relearn, what the fuck are you relearning? More tainted shit. You don't need to learn you need to gain awareness of yourself. Ophiuchus, stop fighting with this bullshit that you think you need to know and find your awareness. Find your awareness. Holy shit. Get off of this 7. Get off of this journey. 7, the spiritual journey. 7, self-awareness. Awareness of yourself where? Awareness of myself in trauma. Awareness of myself fighting with knowledge. I don't need to fight with knowledge. Knowledge gets you effed up. Knowledge wants my energy. So why should I fight with it? Because you need to show them you stronger. See, God ain't gonna put nothing on his strongest warriors that they can't handle 400 years later. You'll come up with all kind of stupid shit that's gonna fly out your pie hole. Careless. Have no idea that you done wrote a story of giving up your time, and the story ain't even about you. It's about you. It's about you didn't have enough awareness of yourself to stop writing. Oops. Why? Because you're too busy, Sagittarius, going on a damn journey. You are now already in the year of the horse before we get there. Time is now. You already leaking. You at this moment right here in Ophiuchus where it said, hey, this is careless. Stop fighting with this bullshit you think you know. But your Sagittarian energy says, no, I need to see who burning me. See, I know we found who's burning me, but I was hoping it was somebody else. I was hoping it wasn't one of our own. So since it was one of our own, I need to keep going until we find somebody that's not one of our own so we can point the blame. So you're going to go on a journey of keep trying to create situations and scenarios because heaven forbid you fix yourself. Heaven forbid you fix your own ignorance. So you're just going to stay the fool. You just going to keep on being the issue. I'm sorry, the issue. You just going to keep on being the trickster. Why? Because you're going to keep on developing roads for people to cross because you ain't ready to keep still for yourself. Expectations and allowances. Expectations get you messed up, and allowances become aware once you develop a situation with somebody else. That is the accountability. You know what? It would be nice if they had accountability. My ego is still a part of this fucking separation meat suit. So your ego is going to want some levels of accountability, but your awareness have to be smart enough to know that it's not a necessity. I'm aware of my partner's situation. I'm aware of your partner's situation, but you know what? I can only be accountable to me. Because if I was on my shit, if my awareness is what I thought it was, none of this will be happening. And in the happenstance that it does happen, I have choice. I thought you were who I thought you was, and now that I know you're not, game over. Ta-da, experience ended. I need closure. That was the closure. If you stuck, that's on you. That was the closure. We were operating without an attachment. You put that shit uneven, now we got karma in the experience. Yeah, line after line after line after line. So the Sagittarian that got out here and went on a journey into their own ignorance, trying to find somebody else to blame without realizing that they're the fool. But the fool that has control of everybody else's energy can fool them into tagging along. And it's like I was saying at the beginning, that shit that they had on Jimmy Kimmel the other night. If your fanatical, ignorant ass, privileged believers think that you can do no wrong, all you got to do is keep letting shit fly out your mouth. They'll believe it anyway. Their ignorance will keep you in power. So you ain't an issue for somebody who think like they want you to think. If that makes sense. Somebody who can't think for themselves, as long as you think the way that they want you to think to make them feel safe, where they are constantly in danger, paranoia, societal paranoia, racial paranoia, things like that, economic paranoia, you can do anything. Hell, they even tell you. You can break in my house and touch my daughter and I'd still vote for him. Uh-oh. So now we on Capricorn. Because the Sagittarius said, I'm just trying to get out of here, trying to get out here and find me in the safest space. Capricorn is the god of thought. Capricorn says, come here. I'll harvest your energy. So Sagittarian under this harvest moon, your ignorance is the only thing that you're used to. Just to be point blank. A Sagittarian that, and again, Sagittarian is what I call master delusionists. Them motherfuckers delusional as shit. Why? Because whatever they invest in becomes their reality. And they're very high energy people. They can dump enough delusional energy into their shit and actually make stuff happen. Those are your instantaneous manifestors. In my experience, a lot of Sagittarians, when they are working on their shit, even when it's some cuckoo shit, they can make that shit pop off. Don't mean that they should, but their ignorance as to proper energetic use makes them like baby witches. You know, when you first come into spirituality and practice, every spell you cast, normally that shit come out hyper. Oh my God, I did, and the next week I got to check. Because your energy is new on that level. So a Sagittarian has that capacity in their own ignorance to keep on reproducing new layers to the delusion. That's perfect for the system. The system only wants you to keep thinking for it. And if you think that you're thinking for yourself while thinking for it, you can stretch a $2 hole a long way. Evil is good. Evil is necessary. Eddie Murphy, Vampire in Brooklyn. So we getting from this ignorance of the Sagittarian into the Capricorn energy that's just trying to control the thoughts. That's a fool's errand. That's kind of like what you're saying, arguing with somebody about accountability. That's the Capricorn energy. Capricorn is a reflection of the system. I'm sorry, this will hurt some of you, but a Capricorn generally is only a reflection of the system because all they want to do is to control others who they think have been trying to control them, which denotes that you don't have any control for yourself. It's a master manipulator energy. You shouldn't have to control somebody else just because you lost control of yourself. That is a clear sign of lack of safety within self. You're already in danger. You're already in danger. The element of air, aimless. Aimless. It's aimless to try and control somebody else when you don't even know what control look like. You'll only, and I said this earlier, you'll only become the thought. The god of thought that only wants to rule over the thoughts will become a thought itself. You won't become the thinker because the only thing you paid attention to is the same shit that traumatized you. You'll become an overseer. You still don't own the harvest. You just get a bigger share. Samuel L. Jackson. Steven from the Django. Wanting to know who that on that nay is. Say, boss, who that on that nay? Aimless. It's aimless for you to worry about somebody else that's free just because you're comfortable being a slave. You're going to see a lot of that. You've been seeing a lot of that, but you're going to see a lot more of that. When people see you start to move different, we've seen that in 2020, and it's coming back up again too. When people start to move different from you, when they don't buy the same sets of beliefs and fears that you do, you'll need to put them in subduction so you feel better about being enslaved. So the Capricorn energy says 3 comes before 2. You're moving backwards, Hoss. The thought is the only thing I'm connected to. And what's 3 plus 2? 5. What was 5? The abuser. You'll move to protect the system. I want to rule over the thoughts by taking the place of the thoughts. But are you the thinker? Can't even answer that question because you ain't authorized. Sorry. Why ain't you authorized? Because you're still in separation. The Aquarian function. You can take over what's harvesting your energy, but if you're only thinking like what's harvested your energy, you just become the abuser. And again, that is a Capricorn energy. Then got hurt and they need to get out here and hurt others so that they feel better about getting back who they got hurt by, but who they hurt when who they got hurt by, and they never fixed the hurt within themselves. Now they just need to hurt everybody. You just one big walking ass, traumatic ass thought pattern. Can't trust nobody because you ain't learned to trust yourself. So since you don't trust yourself in that Capricorn energy, when you run into it in your Aquarian energy, you already got mistrust within yourself. So you need to stay away from others so you can see how they move. That mistrust within yourself is displayed in the mistrust you have for others. Holy shit. Might be another moon card. Why? Because I see everything in a reflection. You see in the reflection of yourself and others, your traumas are trying to show you what you need to work on, but you don't want to change. So you think what you're seeing in others is trying to change you. It is. It's trying to give you the opportunity to change yourself. But because you don't want to change yourself, you see everything else that you think potentially might change you as an obstacle. And unfortunately, in spiritual BDSM, where we like the abuse, that's the shit you keep running towards. Those are your choke me daddy points. You knew that motherfucker was a walking red flag. Male and female. You knew that shit was a red flag, but because I'm working on me and my traumas in separation, I see them for who they are, not realizing that they ain't nothing but you in reflection. And you ain't fixed neither. Now you're gonna have to fix all three. You don't, but in your Aquarian mind, you're gonna have to fix your traumas, their traumas, and the traumas that they helped you create. Holy shit. Lilith energy. Overwhelmed. The wheel of fortune. You in overwhelm. You chose between the knife and the gun. Both of them gonna get you messed up. If I see a knife and a gun and somebody tell me to choose, I ain't choosing either. I'm not gonna hurt myself. If that's your intentions and you're gonna hurt me, you're gonna have to do it. But I'm not gonna choose for you so that you can feel better about harming me because I helped play a part in it. You see how that works? I'm not gonna vote for you to harm me just because I'm stupid enough not to know that your whole job is to take my energy. But I feel better because I voted and I got a little badge that said I did it. Yet we keep seeing the same. You keep choosing over the less overwhelming pedophile and then wondering why you keep getting touched. Strike that, Your Honor. Pisces. You like swimming in two directions and wondering why you keep getting wet. Because you want stability. You just connected into whatever the safest thing controlling you is because you don't have any awareness of yourself. Notice I did not say control. Control still denotes a battle. You just need to have awareness. Control yourself. No, I don't need to control myself. I just need to be aware. I just need to be aware that if there's something going on in me that denotes that I need to have control, then A, I need to separate myself from the situation and check me and ask myself why, or B, if I make a choice of doing it, I just need to take accountability for what I'm doing. So the Pisces energy said, you that fish, that too, is just trying to find out who's going to control you. But holy shit, what was the whole goal? Find the safest way to harvest my energy for myself. But I'm going to give my energy into everything that's going to put me in a separation. And sooner or later, one of them is going to set me free while constantly running me apart. I don't know. Hey, I'm just a fucking reflection. I'm just a thought with a choice. Some of y'all have no choice. So you don't think. Full moon, October 6th, 11:48 p.m. Eastern time. Super moon, super harvest moon. Stop letting things harvest your energy. And stop feeling the necessity to harvest your energy for something or somebody else's use. Sit your punk ass down and be still. The only thing you need to be connected to is you. The only thing you need to be plugged into is you. Because when your energy start running high, the safest thing to do is unplug yourself, sit your punk ass down and be still, and figure out whether you need to reestablish the connection. Not run out here and plug yourself into something else that's already infected or will be infected by your fucked up ass energy. Oops. Wholeness.